Okay, welcome back to episode 2. We're going to go over a few things about obstacles today. Okay, so last video we went through the basics of movement, start pieces, middle pieces and end pieces. So I am going to go over some obstacles today. So we just selected the menu at the top. So before we selected tracks, now we're going to go into obstacles. Okay, so we have a few obstacles in here. All may look very confusing once you first start, but we've got our track here, and say we want to add some obstacles to it. So first, we go over to the track. Now bear in mind, whatever track piece you put the obstacle on, it will be locked to it. So what I mean by that is, when you drag an obstacle and put it onto a map piece, if you select the map piece, it will be selected and locked into place on that piece. So just bear in mind of that. So if you ever this is very good in terms of like copy and pasting and stuff. If you want to continue on a track, which I'll describe in more detail in a moment. But firstly, we're just going to go over a few basics. So like I just did from the last video, we dragged and dropped these are called pegs. And each piece, each obstacle, the same as the track pieces, have different things in the property edits. Let me just move this so you can actually read it. We have different variants. So what that means with the pegs is the shape of the peg. So variant 0 is just your basic peg, what it looks like in the obstacle menu. Variant 1, we have this flat looking one. Variant 2, we have this looking one. Variant 3, it's just a little stump. Variant 4, you've got this one. This one does move. The stump doesn't move. You can have these stationary as well, but we'll go through that in a second. So that's variant 5. Variant 6 is like this little skeleton hand. And now we've got time between move down speed. Now obviously time between move, the time it takes between each movement, basically. Move down speed, if we do put it all the way down to this, watch the peg. Goes very fast. Okay, so, and then it comes back up as a 2, which is the move up speed. So if you want a really fast peg, you can put it down to like really, see? It's going to come back up really fast as well. So that's like if you just want to pew. Or you can have a stationary pin. So it doesn't move at all, it's just there as an obstacle as well. We have all these different ways. We have speed boosts. So these speed boosts have all different properties on them as well. There's a boost magnitude. That's how fast the marble will be boosted. Okay, so if you drop a marble on it now, that's how fast it goes. So if we select it again, I want it to go really fast. This is half speed. Nearly. Put it on. Woo! Goes extremely fast. So have a play around with that. Speed wise, it depends whether you want boosts on your map. Some people put them in just to like help the marbles along through the obstacles or whatever. Scale, obviously that's how big or how small it is. Colour, you can change the colours of the top part and the outline as well underneath here. So 3 is blue, then we have white, there's all different colours. Colour 2, again all different colours. Have use level. Now use level is something newish to the builder. So like when the marble goes through, it will level up. There are different pieces that do that as well. This is a different type of boost. Okay, so you can change the size of it. So if we go up to X, Y, Z, there's different sizes. So X is the length, Y is the width, and Z is the height. Okay, so we'll go through that again. So X is the length, Y is the width, and Z is the height. So how thick you want it, basically. So if we want this whole section to be boosted, for example, if you just didn't want to put like one of those first boosts down, obviously boost starting power is 50. Drop a marble. It's going to go through at that speed once it hits it. We can also, so what you want to do is, if ever you can't select a piece like this, obviously we can't select the obstacle. Click on the piece that you first initially put it on. Select scalable boost, because that's what it is. And then you can go continue to edit the piece. Pulsating, or pulsing, not pulsating, pulsing isn't a constant boost. So it pulses. It'll pulse the marbles. So if we keep putting marbles in, they'll only get boosted at a certain point after it's been pulsed. There we go. Okay, so that's that one. If you want to delete a obstacle, like I said, that you can't select from just clicking on it, click on the piece that you attached it to and then click it off. Just get rid of it. So we've got all those different pieces. The next one is cubes. Now these are quite good and are breakable. So you can use a random colour, so every time the map is uploaded it will be random. Or you can just have a different colour choice here as well. Different sizes. So they're the only variants in the property edit you can have. And when I say they're breakable, I mean once the marble hits it, starts to break. And then it shrinks away. So you can have as many cubes as you want on the track or none at all. Next we have the swinging hammer. Now the swinging hammer, you do have to first initially attach it to a piece. Also, what I wanted to just go through these things here, okay? So this means copy, which will copy the piece. So you have two. This here is the arrows that we described and went through earlier in the last video. This is world. So basically, if you click on this, that looks like a room. The room means the slant of the track. The world means what the world slant is, which isn't a slant, it's just what it normally is. Okay, and then this one is rotating. So if you want to rotate a piece in any way, there we go. So the red, up and down, green, left and right, blue, around. Okay, so what we're going to do with this hammer is we're going to move it away from the track. Because if you have a hammer that's this long, you might want it to hit a marble or put attempts to hit a marble. So you might want to bring it up. You can change the rotation speed as well to have it very, very fast. Or as slow as you want as well. So maybe bring it up a little bit just above the track so it might just hit a marble. So that's what the hammer does. Okay. Now we've got these pieces, the bamboo. That's what they look like. They're called the bamboo. Now these are obstacles, but they do wobble when a marble hits them. So if we do this, it'll wobble. But it is getting in the way of the marble's path. Okay? Now these, again, the only thing in the property edit with these is the variant. So different shapes. So we've got that one, there's the snowman, and there's that one. Again, they all wobble. Variant, I believe it's variant 2, has a face on it. Hold on. There. It's got a little face on it. Looks a bit angry. But that's all you can really do with that one. And another trick I want to show you, instead of pressing the copy to copy it, if you just want to drag it and copy it into a certain place, this is handy if you're doing lasers and lettering in lasers, which we'll go over in another video. If you hold down Alt and move, Alt, move, it copies it instantly. So you can move it after you've copied it. Next thing I want to go through, say if you have a few pieces and you put them all in the wrong place and you want to select them all and move them in one go. If you hold Shift and select a different piece, it will select all of them, okay? So you can move all of them in one go. Also, if you want to select all of this and you don't want to individually click, hold down Shift, left click, and it'll come up with this little box. and highlight those pieces, and it highlights the whole section. So we can move that whole section if we want to. Okay, so if ever that happens, click it back into place. Right, so those are those obstacles. So if I just select these now and get rid of them so we can go over the other ones. These are the spinning, I don't know what they're called, but there's rotation speed and reverse just to move it the other direction. So that's all that one does. This one has a lot of different variations in it. This one here, okay. All right, we've got rotation speed X. Rotation speed X, it just turns it on its axis. Okay, if ever you've done something wrong in the property edit, just to reset to default, and it will go back to its original state. Okay, also, if you want to go back and do something different, if you've made a mistake or whatever, or you've put something in the wrong place, or you've accidentally deleted something you really didn't want to, and it's going to take you ages to get it back, click on history and click undo. Okay, so that got rid of it as I placed it. So I can redo it again, undo, undo, redo, redo. Okay, now we have is reverse, so it will go back in the other direction. Mesh selection, sorry. Now these are all different meshes you can have, all different variants. So we have these different ones. It depends on what you want, really. You can also move these around if you want to. So if you don't want to have it in that way, you can turn it facing this way. Just work on your angles as well for the angles of the map if you want it looking that way. Yeah, so there's a lot to play with, like I said, with the track pieces. We have the grav rings. So time of no grav is 5 seconds. So when a marble gets to it, it will have no gravity for 5 seconds. And then drops. So that's what that means. Again, this is one of those pieces that you can't just select. So select the track piece that it was attached to and delete. Okay, next we have lasers. Now these can either be danger lasers or they can just be for cosmetic. And what I'll show you that in a minute. So we have a laser. We'll move it into place here. You can have it as high as you want to as well. You don't have to have it on the track. You could have it like just dangling in the air like that. But you also want it to hit the map. So this is where you need to fiddle around with the angles. There we go. So as long as it hits the map, it'll activate. You don't have to have it moving either. So time until movement you can have all the way down to 1. And then laser movement speed down to 0. And that will have it as a stationary laser. You can change the colour of the lasers as well. You can have it to no kill, so if you just want it for decoration. You can have the movement range, so how far it moves around as well. Emissive power. Now, emissive power is how bright the laser is. So if I turn it down, it dims the light of the laser. So that's really bright. Now, if you just want, say, like a black, for cosmetic reasons or whatever, turn it all the way down to 0. Okay. Is linear, means it's just in one line. Triggerable. Now, these are in terms of gates, and we'll go over that in a different video because I need to explore that a bit more myself. Com key is the same with the gates as well, to communicate with the gate if you want it to be triggered. So that's the lasers, and we'll go through further in further videos, or in future videos, other uses of lasers, and not just like as an obstacle and possibly killing the marbles. You can use them as decoration as well. Same with a lot of the pieces and the obstacles as well. So that's the lasers. We have this piece here, which again is the same with the hammer. You don't want it completely in the track unless you just want it having it dipping up like that. You see it's just coming into the track there. So raise it up if you want to. You can have these in any different way that you want. Bar reverse, so that just means the inner bar moving in a different way. Bar rotation speed, so that's the middle bar. Swing power, that's how fast it spins. And that's just with that's that piece. This is the ghost. Okay, Now these, you don't have to be placing on the map again. You can have it just dangling in the air if you want. Movement speed, how fast the ghost will move if the ghost is to be triggered as well. Now these ghosts will go and get a marble on the track, or it will just float around the map. Okay, next we have what I call the electrode. It's probably not called that. Now you can have these anywhere you want. Most of the time I use these for decoration because when the marble goes through it changes colour. Lift force, so how much it will lift a marble. So if we put it down at minimum lift force, so it's not really doing anything to the marble apart from electrocuting them, and you get this lovely trail going through. That's really good for like cinematic maps. If we want to change the lift force, say to all the way to the top, just to show you. Let's see what it does to the marbles. So that lifted it and magnetically attached itself to that. And that won't happen with every marble, like it didn't happen with every single marble that went through there. See? And then it lifts it over. Now you can either have that to help or hinder a marble in a map as well. These pieces... Oh, hold on, we got these rings as well. So these, I mainly see used for decoration, but you can use them as boosts. So these ones boost power. So if we have it just at, say, 4. No, reset to default. Let's have it 100. Oh, no, excuse me, wrong button. Let's see what it does. So that just makes it a little bit... See, and just go up a little bit. And then, again, because it's attached to a piece, it's not one of those ones that you can just select like this. What I would call a solid obstacle. Let's select the track, select the piece. Have it scaled up or scaled down. Depends how big you want it. You can change the first one. Color 1 is the one of the color rings, and color 2 is the other color ring, so you can have different colors if you want to. Is decoration, is basically just decoration. Okay, so that's that one. Then we have these shapes. Now these shapes, you can have them as heavy as you want. So if I have it at 10, drop a marble in front of it, it's not that heavy. Have it all the way at 200, drop a marble, that ain't moving. That is not moving. You can have different variants, different shapes. So we have a cube, a triangle, or we have this cylinder looking one. Okay, that's that one. Next we have barrels. Now these are my favourite. Okay, barrels explode. So we have explosive delay. What that means is, if it has no explosive delay, it's going to explode straight away as soon as a marble hits it. So let's do that again. There we go. Now, if we have a slight delay, it's going to take 34 seconds until it explodes. There we go. Blast radius, how big you want the blast. Blast force, how forceful you want the force. Triggerable, again, this is with the gates that we will come to in another video as well. So you can have many barrels on your map, and then they won't explode until a marble goes through a certain gate at a certain point in the map. Okay, next we have tires. Now these are just tires. Just tires. And they just sit on the map. And the marbles hit them. They're not very heavy. They're fun though. And we have the fans. These fans are pretty cool. You can have them as fast or slow as you want. You don't even have to have them like that. Again, you can rotate them if you want to. So it's like that. Just be careful that marbles don't get stuck in the fans, which happens. It can happen. Next we have turrets. Now these were new a few seasons ago. Right, so we have next shot time. So if we have it just as default, the next shot time will be 1 second. So every time it sees a marble, it will shoot. Can have these as decorative as well. You don't have to be deadly. range, how far they'll shoot, no kill, so they could just decorate, and variant. The variant is just the, so if you see this here, when we change the variant, you'll see all the different, and you won't really see them until they shoot. Like I said, it's just all about experimentation in map building. Now this one here, this will change the size of the marble. And every time a marble goes through, it will change plus or minus. So if I go one goes through now, plus it got a little bit bigger. And we have these were new. This is more like the rotation pieces as well. Like I said, just experiment with all the different pieces, all the different things that they do. See what feels right for you. Some marble builders decide not to use certain pieces because they can't get on with them, or they don't like the way they look in a map. Like I said, it's completely up to you. Next video we'll go over a few more things. One more thing I want to go through is the materials in a different menu. So the materials, you have base, obstacle and glass. Okay, so the base is the track piece, the obstacle is the obstacles that I was just describing, and then the glass is the glass on capped pieces. Okay, so if I show you this, so this is just the basic colour, the blue. Want it red, change it to red, black. There's all different ones as well. Just see what you feel is best for you. Obstacles, you can change the colour of the obstacles as well. You can see that changing. Glass, if we go closer to the glass, I'll show you the different glass pieces. Oops, pardon me. Go closer to the glass, I'll show you all the different glass ones as well. So you can have it a solid colour. We've got all different colours of glass. Completely up to you. Have a little play around, see how you feel, see what works for you, because every build is different. Everyone's got their own unique style, their own unique way of building, and just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Also, what I wanted to say before we carry on, no, what I wanted to say I didn't say in the last video, make sure you save as you go, because we all know what technology's like. Something might happen, an error might happen. If you don't save it, you've got to start all over again. So before you continue with any work, once you're happy with it, save, name your map, confirm. Okay? And then once you want to, if you come into the builder and you want to continue with that map, say if you want to take a break or whatever, or start again on a different day, open and find that file with that name that you saved, and it'll open that map. So I hope that was helpful in some way, guys. Next video we'll go over a few more things. Like I said, I'll go over some of the obstacles in more detail in future videos, like the lasers, for example, because I have had a few questions about those. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!